Okay, here I am in the doorway of this thing. Let's get a look at it.
Well, even like, Mom, like, this nest, that's like 10 feet. I'm 6 foot, so 7, 8. That's like 10-foot door.
Well, yeah, that's the
Just to that
current
part.
door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new door too, right?
Yeah.
That might have been gone all the way to the top there. What is going on here?
And there's a Cupid picking his nose.
A Cupid picking his nose? Where?
On the right.
Oh my goodness. You think that's a nose pick?
Or in his mouth.
That is, yeah, interesting. Oh, you need to hear the bells. Where's the sound coming from? Okay, so now we're on the other side of this one. Huh.
Oh my word, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, what do you think is up with this?
I don't know, but it's cool.
Where's the information? So Ryan, how do you think they did that? I love how the blossoms are just blowing everywhere. Oh, I missed it. Did you miss it?
Yeah. We want to know what the oldest buildings are here.
Oh, you're right in here. This whole area was built in 1914, 1915 for the Panama Exhibition.
Okay.
And so these would be your oldest here. The ones down at that end were built for the 1934 exhibition. So half the park was built in 1914, half of it was built in 1934.
Okay, and is it true? Like this World Fair, what were these World Fairs?
Okay, the Panama Exhibition was the one in 14. Just a tiny story here in it. On the front there. But it was, San Diego wanted to show off their city. It was a growing city, and the Panama Canal was opening. And this area was going to be, California was going to be the first stop on the first ship going around the Panama.
Oh, I see.
So they said, you know what, let's have an exhibition. But the funny thing, we had one, San Francisco had one, everyone had one the same year. But so they all called them the Panama exhibitions.
They all called them the
Yeah,
But were they all on the same route? Is that why?
It was all California. So
But they had World Fairs like all over
it wasn't
the country too.
It wasn't the World's Fair, it was a Panama exhibition.
Oh, okay. So the World's Fairs were different.
World's Fairs were different.
Okay, what were the...
We didn't have one here. San Francisco would have had a World's Fair sometime.
Okay. But they built, is it true? Because the lady she said they built a model first, and then they rebuilt this. Is that right?
Yes, they built, a few of them. I shared you, yes. Most of the buildings were temporary for the fair.
Bless you. Thank you.
Most of the buildings were temporary. So when the fair was over, the whole thought was it would just, a couple of years, this fair, and then they would take the buildings down and go back to the park.
Oh, I see.
But they had models of them, so they
So they look the same.
They look exactly the same. But that one was an original, that was an original, and that was these were original ones here. So these were not touched. These were built to stay. This whole area was built to be torn down.
Oh, okay. So some of the ones weren't rebuilt.
Some of the ones were not rebuilt. They are original from then.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So this area here is
because
original.
some of this is like, it's like, so that if the model was like exactly the same, Like that's really intricate work that they did.
They have them all, and the really interesting
They
thing
use
is
molds?
They're molds. It's hollow inside,
Oh, okay.
which I thought
It
was
still
really
is hollow.
interesting.
It's just plastic.
Still
There is
hollow. Yes, and inside that building, right over there, there's a little building there. There's a one where you can see the inside of it.
Oh.
So it's
And they opened it up for
they
you.
opened it up for you to see one of the column or something. It's
Oh, yeah.
opened up so you can see how it's just wire and plaster and. But there was a fire here too. Some of the buildings were destroyed, but because they had the molds, they were able to build them back exactly like they were.
When was the fire?
There were a couple fires. I think in the 60s and 80s and 90s.
Oh.
That's right.
That's
But
good.
current day, I mean, not too.
Yeah,
not too long ago, recent.
They burnt and then all burnt. They rebuilt them.
Yeah,
So
not
these
the whole building. parts
just
of the
these
building.
ones.
Yeah, there was a fire here. There's been a fire at the old globe.
Wow. But they had the same
What's-
molds.
Or they had the same.
What's the
molds.
dome for?
The dome is the Old Globe Theater, and it's attached to the Museum of Us.
Oh.
And it's modeled after the Old Globe in England.
Oh.
It's pretty cool to go in the middle. You see a little courtyard in there. It's very English-looking type theater.
Okay.
Are you looking for any?
No, we're from Canada. We're just walking and exploring.
Yeah, if you wanted to see the museum, today is
So
the last day
what
of
was the
museum.
point? The World Fairs then, so this was about a route.
This was about a route.
And
This
then-
was about showing off the city.
Yeah, on the route.
Trying to get people to stop.
So using the route as an excuse to have a party.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the World Fair is what we rode for.
The World Fair is just a chance
Same, to show off their cities.
To show off their cities, but those were the big
Kinda like-
elaborate things.
Like
you know.
Olympics.
Yeah, like the Olympics, where so many things were introduced. Like your story, you like Chicago, ice cream for the first time, and I've just heard so many different stories. But really interesting things that came about for the Ferris wheel, first time ever at a World Fair. They would show off inventions, all sorts of things.
So, you know when you look in like ancient Rome, was that all hollow too?
I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know. But it's hard to imagine that in Rome they could have built it. They might have had molds. I bet you those are not.
They would be solid.
I bet they would be solid. Did you see the ruins?
So that is even a mold on the
No,
on
that-
the original? No.
That's a very good question. It's probably, if something were to happen to it, there is a mold that they could make. But this building is the original building.
So it might be solid.
Probably hollow because they. No, not the building. Just the
Because
art.
if it's not hollow, they had to chisel it.
The art. Yeah, they were not. They were all made somewhere else in Broadway.
Oh, they were.
Yes, that I know. They were made somewhere else in Broadway.
Oh.
So nobody was up there chiseling.
That's probably why you see pieces. Like they're all little pieces.
Nobody was chiseling.
There's people behind us, Diana.
Okay, okay. All right, thanks. Having a snack.
the tail. He's hiding his snacks. Oh!